My fiancé cheated on me the night before our wedding, with my brother. You know, the one who gets humiliated at the altar. The one people whisper about in group chats. The one who becomes a story, not a person. But here I am, writing this because I have no one left to talk to. Because the woman I loved, the woman I was about to marry, slept with my brother the night before our wedding. And I found out at the altar. The beginning. Emily, 28F, and I met in college. She was studying graphic design, I was in business. We met at a mutual friend's Halloween party, me in a dumb Batman costume, her in a black dress with a fake spider crawling down her shoulder. We talked the whole night. She told me she loved horror movies and hated pumpkin spice. I was hooked. We dated for 5 years. Moved in together after 2. Got engaged on our 6th anniversary, on the rooftop of the building where we first kissed. It was perfect. My family loved her. My mom called her, the daughter I never had. My older brother Luke, 31M, always joked about how lucky I was. Maybe he wasn't really joking. The red flags I ignored. There were signs. Hindsight is cruel like that. Luke and Emily always got along, too well sometimes. I chalked it up to good vibes. She was social, warm, funny. He was charming, loud, the life of every party. I remember once walking in on them laughing in the kitchen. Nothing suspicious, but when they noticed me, it went quiet fast. I asked what was so funny, and Luke said, just an old joke. Emily smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. That was about 6 months before the wedding. Then there were the texts. I saw Luke's name pop up late once, around midnight. When I asked, Emily said it was about a surprise he was planning for the wedding. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. I shouldn't have. The night before. We had our rehearsal dinner at a vineyard just outside town. Family, close friends, laughter, clinking glasses. I gave a speech about how lucky I was, and people clapped. Emily cried, or pretended to. I'm not even sure anymore. That night, we stayed in separate places. Tradition, she said. I slept at my best man's place. She stayed at a hotel with her maid of honor and bridesmaids. Or so I thought. The morning of. I woke up buzzing. Nervous, excited, ready. I couldn't wait to see her walk down the aisle. My best man, Jared, kept trying to distract me with jokes and shots of espresso. Then I got a call from Emily's maid of honor, Kayla. She sounded off. Hey, she said quietly. Can I talk to you for a second? Alone. I stepped outside the prep room. I don't know how to say this, she said. But something happened last night. My stomach dropped. She took a deep breath. Emily didn't stay with us. We didn't see her at all after dinner. She said she was going to the room but then never came. I asked where she was. Kayla hesitated. I'm not supposed to know this. But I think she was with Luke. My world stopped. The discovery. I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. There had to be some mistake. Emily loved me. Luke was my brother. My best friend growing up. He wouldn't do that. So I called Luke. No answer. I called Emily. No answer. I drove to the hotel. I asked the front desk if Emily checked in. She had, under my last name. But there was another guest registered to her room. Luke. I asked the receptionist if I could speak with them. She said they had checked out an hour ago. The wedding was in 2. The decision. I went to the venue. Jared tried to calm me down. Said it could be a misunderstanding. But I saw them. Together. Hiding behind the side entrance of the venue. She was fixing his tie. His tie. And when she saw me, her eyes widened. Luke turned and literally ran the other way. Like a coward. Emily followed me inside, begging to explain. I turned to her, heart pounding. You slept with my brother. Tears welled up in her eyes. It was a mistake. I was drunk. I didn't mean. I laughed. Laughed. Was it just once? She paused. I turned to leave. The ceremony that wasn't. Guests were already seated. Music was playing softly. The priest stood at the altar, flipping through his notes. I walked up. Everyone turned. Smiling. Waiting. I grabbed the mic. I won't be getting married today, I said. Because my fiancée slept with my brother. Last night. Less than 12 hours before this ceremony. Gasps. Shuffling. My mom dropped her wine glass. Emily was crying behind me. I didn't look back. Thank you all for coming. There's food and drinks. Please enjoy the reception, since apparently I paid for it anyway. I walked off stage and out the back door. The aftermath. Emily tried calling me for days. Left long voicemails. Said she'd made a huge mistake. That she didn't know why she did it. Luke didn't say a word. Just sent a one-line text, I'm sorry. I blocked them both. My mom tried to mediate. Said, people make mistakes. I told her if she ever brought it up again, I'd cut her off too. And I meant it. The fallout. Emily moved out of our apartment. I didn't even see her. Just had a lawyer handle it. She tried to return the ring. I told her to keep it. Pawn it. Bury it. I didn't care. I quit my job a month later. Moved states. Got a dog. Started therapy. For months I couldn't trust anyone. Couldn't even look in the mirror without feeling like a fool. But slowly, I rebuilt. Piece by piece. 1 year later. I'm still single. Still healing. But I've started dating again. I'm not bitter, just smarter. Last month, I ran into Jared at a cafe. He told me Luke got dumped by the woman he cheated with 2 months later. He lost his job. Moved back in with my parents. No one wants to talk to him. Emily's apparently working in a different city. Still single. I don't care anymore. I don't think about her when I wake up. I don't wonder, what if? All I think is, thank God I found out when I did. Because sometimes the worst day of your life is actually the day you got your freedom back. 1 year later, my brother showed up on my doorstep. It's been a little over a year since I left Emily at the altar. 12 months since I stood in front of 100 people and said, my fiancée slept with my brother last night. And then I walked away from all of it. Her. Him. My family. It should have been the hardest year of my life. But strangely, it wasn't. Because leaving that day, that exact moment I took the mic and told the truth, was the first time I truly chose myself. The silence. After the wedding, I went fully no contact. I blocked Emily everywhere. I blocked Luke too. Changed my number. Moved states. I wanted to burn everything down, the apartment, the memories, even my last name. But I didn't. I started therapy instead. I adopted a rescue dog named Diesel. And for the first time in years, I stopped living for other people. But silence doesn't last forever. And pain, even when buried, has a way of finding you again. My mother's email. I hadn't spoken to my mother since the fallout. She called my reaction cruel. Said, you humiliated your brother. I replied, he humiliated himself. And that was it. I didn't hear from her again, until 3 weeks ago. She sent an email. Subject, Luke. Jason, I know you won't want to hear this. But please don't delete this right away. Your brother isn't doing well. He's been struggling since, everything. He's lost a lot. He's changed. And he's been trying to make amends. I stared at it for a long time. I didn't respond. 3 days later, he knocked on my door. The visit. It was a Saturday. I had just come back from a hike with Diesel, still sweaty, when I saw someone standing near my porch steps. My stomach dropped. It was him. Luke. He looked older. Weathered. Dark circles under his eyes, hair a bit thinner. But still unmistakably him. He held his hands up like I was about to hit him. Please, he said. I'm not here to make excuses. I just need 5 minutes. I didn't say a word. Just stood there. I know what I did. I don't expect you to forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me either. I just need you to know. I've changed. Changed? I finally said. What does that mean? You found someone else's fiancée to screw this time. He winced. No. I haven't even dated since. He pulled a folded paper from his jacket and handed it to me. It was a letter. Written by hand. Jason. I betrayed you in a way no brother ever should. I think about that night every day. About how I destroyed our family. I was jealous. That's the truth. You had everything together, the career, the love, the future. I felt small around you. I wanted to be you. And when Emily showed signs that maybe she didn't love you the way she said, I made the worst decision of my life. It was long. Painful. Honest. I didn't forgive him. But I didn't slam the door either. The truth about Emily. As Luke stood awkwardly on my porch, shifting from foot to foot, he said something that caught me off guard. She told me she'd been thinking about leaving you for months. I froze. She said you were too perfect. Too stable. That she wanted chaos. Something exciting. She said I was that something. I asked him, so you knew she had doubts and still went through with it? I didn't plan it, he said. It just happened. I laughed bitterly. You accidentally slept with your brother's bride? He shook his head. No. It wasn't an accident. I just didn't care in the moment. I was too drunk on attention. And I hated how much I admired you. He looked down. I hate the man I was. I'm not asking you to talk to me again. Just. I needed you to hear that. Then he turned and left. Closure, or something like it. I didn't chase him. I stood there, holding the letter, rereading it twice. I didn't feel peace. But I did feel something else. Finality. For the first time since that disaster of a wedding, I didn't feel like I was holding a live wire in my chest. I went inside, poured a drink, and sat on the floor with Diesel asleep in my lap. And I cried. Not because I missed Emily. Not even because of Luke. I cried for the version of myself that used to believe love meant ignoring red flags. That being loyal meant being blind. That family meant forgiveness, no matter what. That version of me was gone. And thank God. One last surprise. 3 weeks after Luke's visit, I got a voicemail from an unknown number. It was Emily. I almost deleted it without listening, but curiosity got the better of me. Hey. I don't know if this number is still yours. I heard from your mom that Luke saw you. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry too. For everything. Not just the cheating. For all the ways I failed you. I hope you're doing okay. I'm in therapy. Trying to understand myself better. I don't expect you to respond. Just, needed to say it. That was it. No begging. No manipulation. Just, silence. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Where I am now. It's been 14 months. I'm living in a quiet town with my dog and a circle of friends who feel more like family than blood ever did. I'm dating again, carefully, slowly, but openly. I no longer ignore red flags. I don't rush to love. I listen to the little voice in my gut. And I trust it. Last weekend, I went to a wedding. My friend Jared got married to the sweetest woman you could imagine. At one point, during the reception, he pulled me aside and said, "You know, none of this would have happened if you hadn't stood up for yourself. You reminded me what self-respect looks like." It hit me hard. Because he was right. Sometimes the most painful moment of your life, standing at the altar, betrayed, humiliated, becomes the moment everything starts to heal. Final thoughts. If you're reading this and you've been betrayed, by a partner, a sibling, a friend, let me say this. You're not weak for walking away. You're not wrong for choosing yourself. And you are not obligated to forgive people who never truly cared about you. Sometimes, closure isn't about an apology. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs one. After the vows broke, the silence in the suite was unbearable. I sat there on the floor, tux half ruined, bow tie torn, the remnants of what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life lying in pieces around me. The wedding decorations, the champagne bottles, her wedding shoes left behind like she couldn't run fast enough. I still remember the exact moment I saw them, my brother and my bride, tangled up in each other in the back of the venue, behind the catering van, 30 minutes before the ceremony. Her in my family's white. Him in his suit, hand on her thigh like she belonged to him. I didn't say anything right away. I walked back into the hall like a ghost. My mother said I looked pale. I told her I needed air. And then I called it off. I stood on that altar, looked out at the guests, and told them plainly, there will be no wedding today. The bride is otherwise engaged, with my brother. Some people gasped. Some laughed nervously. My aunt dropped her wine glass. My brother didn't even deny it. He stood up from his seat and just left. The fallout came like a tidal wave. My phone was blowing up. Half my relatives were furious I made a scene. The other half were proud I didn't go through with it. My dad was quiet, angry, but not at me. You did what you had to do, he said later, sipping whiskey in our hotel room. Some men would have gone through with it just to save face. You saved your future. I didn't sleep that night. Neither did she. She tried calling. Texting. Sent long, rambling voice notes I didn't listen to. It was a mistake, we were drunk, he kissed me first. All of it sounded like garbage even without pressing play. What hurt the most? She never said she loved me in those messages. Not once. Just, I messed up. I was scared. I didn't mean for it to happen. The worst part was the days after. The cleanup. My family was already torn. My mom wanted to keep the peace and asked if I'd talk to my brother. I refused. He didn't just sleep with a girl I liked, I said. He wrecked my entire future. She replied, he's your brother. Family matters more than loyalty. I cut her off. Then respect. Then my ****ing dignity. She didn't say anything after that. Then the gossip started online. Someone posted a TikTok of my announcement at the altar. It went viral. Comments like, this man dodged a bullet, better than reality TV, and, that's one savage groom. It should have made me feel better, I guess. But instead, I felt exposed. Like everyone had watched the most humiliating moment of my life like it was some Netflix drama. Even my ex tried to play the victim. She posted some cryptic Instagram story about being betrayed by those you trusted the most. I guess she meant me for not forgiving her. 2 weeks after the disaster, I got a call from my brother. I let it ring. Then again. And again. Finally, I picked up. "Jason," he said. His voice was hoarse. "I messed up." "Yeah," I said. "You did. I didn't mean for it to happen like that. We were drunk. She was my fiancée." "I know. I didn't think it'd go that far. Didn't think sleeping with her was going that far." Silence. Then, softly, "I was jealous. You always had the perfect life. The job. The apartment. The fiancé. And I lost it." I laughed bitterly. "I would have given you all of that if you just asked. But instead, you took it." He didn't respond. "I don't want to see you again," I said. "Don't come to the house. Don't call me. You're not my brother anymore." He cried. I didn't. I hung up. 3 months passed. I started therapy. Moved to a smaller place. Got promoted at work. Funny how people admire you more after a public breakdown. But still, I didn't date. Didn't talk to anyone new. Didn't even think about weddings or love or anything close to it. Until I got an email from a name I hadn't seen in years. Ava. My ex from college. The one I always thought I should have fought harder for. She wrote. "Hey. I saw what happened. I'm sorry. I know this is random, but, if you ever need someone to talk to, someone who won't sleep with your brother, I'm here." It made me smile. Just a little. I stared at Ava's message for a long time. It was funny, how a single line could crack the emotional wall I'd spent months building. Eventually, I replied. "Coffee? No brothers allowed." We met at a small cafe near her office. She looked the same. Sharp eyes, warm smile, and that sarcastic tone that once kept me grounded when everything else felt too heavy. We talked. At first about surface things, work, books, bad coffee. But then, somehow, we slid into real things. The betrayal. The wedding. My brother. Her failed engagement. Her mom's illness. Hours passed. And I realized something I hadn't dared to believe. I wasn't broken. Just bruised. As we parted, she said softly, "Maybe the worst day of your life just led you here." And for the first time in months, I didn't feel angry. I felt free. A week after coffee with Ava, things started to feel different. Lighter. I was sleeping better. I even smiled at work without faking it. We kept texting. Calling. Meeting. Nothing romantic, not yet, but there was something unspoken growing between us. Then, one evening, I came home and found an envelope taped to my door. No name. No return address. Inside was a printed photo, a wedding photo. My wedding day. Me standing at the altar, alone, with a red X drawn over my chest in marker. Behind me, blurry in the background, were my brother and her. Holding hands. On the back was one word, scribbled in black ink. Traitor. I froze. Was it a joke? A threat? From her? From him? Someone else? I stared at the picture for a long time. Then I picked up my phone. Not to call the police. Not even Ava. I called my dad. "I think this isn't over," I said quietly. And he replied, "No. But you are stronger now."